let the hacking begin.
I have no idea.
It sounds like some weird bug, but I don't know.
I don't know what a hackathon is.
Something to do with hacking, maybe? I don't really know much about
between hackers.
Something used to hack people, maybe get passwords.
I'm not sure if they're actually hacking, but they're just doing a lot of coding.
Something to do with hacking? I don't know, but it sounds fun.
Yesterday, I was talking to someone and I was like, oh yeah, I'm so excited for this hackathon tomorrow. And they're like, what are you hacking? And they're using, you know, the old like 80s like movie breaking in word hacking. And I was like, nothing.
I think that's what some people haven't realized yet, is that hackathons really kind of almost are like a melting pot for startups. I feel like Angel Hack hit a good piece with it, because one of the reasons that Greg, the CEO of the company, actually founded it was because he went to hackathons when he first moved out in Silicon Valley, and he was mad because people would come up with these great ideas, you know, these great apps, you know, in 24 hours, and the next day people would just forget about them. You know, they wouldn't keep going with them. And so the main goal behind Angel Hack, which is different than, you know, the TechCrunch hackathon or, you know, a couple of other hackathons, is that once whoever wins it, or, you know, even after the people don't, they give you as much, you know, that they can to keep you going and to try and build it to a business almost.
It's been on the brain for a while now, and I think if I don't finish it now, it's going to be like my main project over the break in like the next couple of months, like regardless of how far I get on it tonight.
So for best use of our centigrade API, if you do decide to use it, we're giving away up to 4 of these motions. So and we have women's sizes too, so come over after.
Microsoft brings in interns from all across the country and world, but UT is one of the highest universities that we get interns from.
Well, we are giving away a prize, but rather than have a specific prize, I really want it to be something that you guys want. So, I mean, it could be some kind of gadget for your team. If you don't really want a gadget, or you buy yourself all the gadgets you want, that's what I do. You could get some money. I'll give you cash. Maybe you don't want cash. Maybe you want booze. I'm not sure if that goes against school policy. If it does, then I won't do that. Talk to me later. Maybe you want a puppy. I mean, everyone likes puppies, right? Now, I mean, puppies are relatively inexpensive, so maybe you want 10 puppies. I'll give you 10 puppies. All right.
An API is a way to communicate with the server. So it's like, if you want to have a quality application that works in tandem with some other software or website or something, you need an API.
The problem that I'd like to speak to you about is human trafficking. It is a hidden industry. It's one of the largest industries in the whole world. It's a global industry, and unfortunately, it's also a local industry. That is our problem. Our solution is an app as well as a web page. What we've found is that through many eyes, we can expose this industry, and then it will eventually have no place to really run. The 2 keys of this app and web page is to recognize and to report. The more people that are able to recognize what's going on, the more people are going to be able to report what they're seeing. And as that happens, then the ability of the human traffickers to function gradually diminishes.
They've made something which will, like it sounds, make water from the air. And it's the atmospheric water generator. I couldn't figure out how we got there. but it's really able to purify drinking water. And this is how they began a few days ago. That was the initial prototype on the board downstairs. And finally they coded all the way up to here, and then they used a 3D printer to actually print it. So this is probably one of the only entries with an actual printed prototype ready for viewing. What they do is, there's a funnel here for water to come in. It could gather all the way here, and because of evaporation, water is going to be extracted, and the impurities will be stored here, which will be clean. He's also planning to include a desiccant like clay. As he says, even in the hardest of deserts, there is moisture in the air. So when he puts the desiccant inside, overnight it will absorb all the moisture. In the morning, the water will come out. So his plan is to try and extract and literally make water out of air. As a whole family, in fact, they only learned to code on Friday, but it was amazing that an entire family literally came to code for the kingdom.
Because I'm director of product development, I have lots of ideas, and we have a huge backlog. There's several products that we're currently working on, and we do need help. But a hackathon is a little bit different because the people who build it kind of own it, and so I couldn't really take a product that my organization is already working on because they kind of want to continue to work on it. So I kind of look at my product backlog and say, well, you know, what are some short-term projects that I really like, I would like to create, but I know I'm not going to get to for a couple of years because we're that backlogged. And so I came up with, hey, there's this really cool iPad app called Gospel App that everybody I talked to loved the idea, and it seems to be something we could develop really quick, so I threw it out there, not expecting anybody to want to actually build it or choose it, but actually 3-4 people actually kind of joined in over the weekend and helped make it a reality.
All 3 of the guys on my team who were here start looking around at each other and kind of doing that little sniff, because we're like, is it because we haven't changed in however long? But no, we were just smelling the chips at the table. It's terrible.
Start the waterworks.
We've gone into a dark place.
The sun will creep right out of it.
Over and over and over. The languages, Spanish, German, over and over.
She's recording. It's like coding romance song. Yeah, this one's all off the
What you love, get up.
Here we go. It's totally
Back in the